Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Harry has been accused of ruining the upcoming Invictus games. This from royal commentator Angela Levin, who told GB News they're going to use them as publicity for themselves. I mean, they have loved Harry and they've been very good. I've been on one with him. And I've spoken to the people who started it and they felt very strongly he was absolutely right to launch the games. But now he's turned it into making him more important than he is now. People in Canada have contacted me to say they're trying to stop the 2025 one because they don't want it anymore with them. They've got to leave. They don't want it because he's ruined it, because they're taking all the spotlight away from them. I mean, they need help. They need the spotlight. Columnist Jan Moyer wrote for the Mail Online, "Every time I want to warm to Harry, I am repelled by his huffy unconscious entitlement and piercing sense of victimhood, as if he were the only one in the world ever to have suffered. To his credit, he shines a spotlight on these soldiers, these men and women with life-changing injuries. They were maimed in the service of their own countries for doing what was asked of them by their government. What is compelling about Invictus is that it makes us look at them and the triumph of their truncated lives instead of looking away. It makes us think about the sacrifice they have made for freedom and for us. Yet it takes a special kind of able-bodied person to bear witness to the limbless and the wounded, the double amps, the blind and the horribly maimed, and then talk about losing his mother at the age of 12. Hashtag #ShutUpHarry was trending for a while. One social media user posted, "I am so sick to my back teeth hearing about how Harry talks about losing his mother. William lost a mother also. William is the one I would look up to on how to survive and live a healthy life after trauma and tragedy. Hashtag #ShutUpHarry." Some in the media took issue with Harry's comments in Heart of Invictus. The Mail on Sunday's assistant editor Kate Manzi told Talk TV, "I would take issue with the fact that Harry claimed the media didn't do anything to cover these stories, having gone out to Afghanistan myself, but also think of all the journalists who went out there and lost their own lives to bring the stories of those troops back." Go Up's PR and reputation management expert Edward Coram James told The Express, "Often when the narrative doesn't go the way that the principal wants, they try to wrestle control of the narrative and forcibly demand the perspective, storyline or exposure that they want. But when the narrative is that you're an attention seeker, there is literally no way of doing this without feeding into and giving credibility to the narrative that you're trying to combat. It's a common and a human mistake. Actions speak louder than words, and if you want to persuade the world that you're not an attention seeker, a very good way to do that is to lay low for an extended period of time. A very bad way to do it is to continue with high-profile publicity campaigns. We are quite hardwired to try to take control of the situation when things aren't going our way, and it is often very difficult to persuade principals that the best thing they can do is not to attack a storyline head-on, but to sink into anonymity for a bit. To be clear, crisis communications is nuanced, and there are plenty of cases in which attacking a storyline head-on is precisely what one should do." Royal commentator and podcaster Kinsey Schofield thinks it would be a mistake for Meghan to separate her career from Harry. "I certainly think that Meghan has counsel in her ear telling her that she is better off without Prince Harry and the royal drama professionally. But Meghan was a working actor before Harry. She was not a celebrity or a household name. We loved and accepted Meghan because we have loved Prince Harry since he was a little boy. He elevated her, and I think people will be much more forgiving of him before they will forgive her. I think she takes a huge risk, distancing herself from the individual that gave her the platform that she has today. As a former PR professional, I would not advise it." Palace Intrigue will be right back. If you were hoping to sell your gently used copy of Spare, the Knowledge Academy reports Spare is one of the least valuable books being sold used, at just 34.77% of its original value. That said, Harry did sell a lot of books, so maybe everybody already owns a copy. Bethany Frankel commented on H&M's Hollywood A-Game, "Harry and Meghan were seen hanging out with Cameron Diaz and Gwyneth Paltrow, and I'm like, okay, there are certain people that when they get famous, they are only friends with famous people. They only hang out with Kris Jenner and Ellen DeGeneres because they live in Montecito. And Oprah," Bethany claimed, "are they not friends with normal people?" And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. If you haven't already, please head on over to YouTube or youtube.com and do a search for Palace Intrigue there and hit that subscribe button. It would really help us out. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue. Good times.